Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. I'm Gabby.
I'm Charlotte.
And this is not your average crossover. In fact, it's much cooler. Mostly, in fact, due to this paint color. Charlotte, what is this called?
This is Meta Blue, and it's technically a blue, but the more I look at it, the more I see a little bit of iridescence in it, the more I see a little bit of purple in it, and it can really be whatever it is you want it to be.
But it's not just the paint color, it's the N-Line specifically. Now, this is a trim level newer for the Hyundai Kona, or semi-newer. The paint color is what makes it look very different, but it definitely stands out from the rest of the crossover crowd. Definitely. Charlotte and I are going to walk you through everything that you're going to get in the N-Line trim, not the Ultimate, so you guys know if this vehicle is worth your buy. Shall we get into it, Char?
Let's do it. And in case you guys haven't figured it out, these videos are done live, so if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the live chat, and we'll answer them for you. If you're watching this in the future, feel free to leave them down as a comment down below. And just a reminder, we have our dedicated Q&A at the end of this video, so stick around.
Let's get into it.
Let's go.
And if you're thinking the 2025 model is a carryover from last year, the answer is no. There is one big change, and I'm going to point it out once we get to the rear end of the vehicle. First, let's start off with the front end. So for 2024, the Hyundai Kona was redesigned, and one of the best changes that they did was give it the RoboCop look. You guys, we have a beautiful LED daytime running light that expands all the way across the front end of the vehicle, giving it so much road presence, and it looks awesome. I personally love it. You also get full LEDs for your headlamps as well too. So when it comes to visibility, this vehicle does a fantastic job. You also have intelligent high beam assist. So if you are someone who lives in a more rural area or just Canada where it gets dark at 5 p.m., you're gonna really appreciate the fact that these high beams can shut themselves off when it senses enough ambient light or an oncoming vehicle. So pretty smart car indeed. But the intelligence does not stop there. This vehicle is actually jam-packed with a bunch of tech and safety functions to make your driver experience even better. One of those, and one of my favorites, is this radar plate right over here. Now that's going to be utilized for your smart cruise control in this vehicle. It's adaptive, meaning that if you get into slower traffic or even stop and go conditions, this vehicle can tackle it no problem. So again, stop and go, city, highway, it doesn't matter, the vehicle will be able to handle it for you. You can also make adjustments to how the system operates, so if you find that the default setting is maybe a bit too slow to accelerate, you can change that to make it more like how you would drive. The N-Line is also going to give you an exclusive look, and a lot of that is going to come down to the black elements across your front bumper over here. So gloss black all throughout. Your lower grille also has a nice shiny black coating. You also get these pretty cool skid plates along the bottom too, or lower trim pieces, and N-Line badging towards the right-hand side. I don't know if Charlotte got to show that yet.
There it is.
There's also active grille shutters for this vehicle as well too, allowing more air inside the vehicle when necessary. Gonna make a mention of the powertrain as well, so let me pop the hood for you guys. This is going to be your introductory trim level to the 1.6 liter turbo GDI engine. Now this powertrain, it does give you a boost of horsepower and torque of course, but it doesn't sacrifice a ton of fuel efficiency. So it's rated at 9 liters per 100 kilometers combined, so that's highway and city, and you can certainly see it do better depending on how you drive. You also get a nice hydraulic hood. This engine is going to give you 190 horsepower with 195 pound-feet of torque. I'd say it's quite an improvement from the 147 that the naturally aspirated engine offers. If you like a little extra pep in your step, this is definitely the trim level to get. And not to mention, it just looks so good, you guys. There's definitely a sportier twist when you move up to the N-Line trim level. Charlotte, what's the price point if someone were to get this vehicle?
So this vehicle, it's gonna be priced at $35,949. That is Canadian, and that is gonna be the MSRP of the vehicle as well.
Awesome. And there is one trim level above this if you need a little extra more gadgets and gizmos for the interior and safety. But when it comes to powertrain, this is the highest powertrain or most output you can get with this vehicle. You also get all-wheel drive. Before we talk about all-wheel drive, let's talk about the wheels themselves. These are 19-inch alloys. They're shared on the N-Line and the N-Line Ultimate. I think they look fantastic. You get the distinct Hyundai N emblem. I was just supposed to say N emblem. Hyundai N emblem, which I think looks so good on this vehicle. It's not a gloss black either. It's a bit more of a dark gray, so it looks a little bit better, especially if you've been driving around salty roads. It's a little bit more forgiving. All-season tire on this vehicle with ventilated disc brakes up at the front, and the all-wheel drive system does have a front-wheel drive bias, so if it's a regular sunny day, no rain, no snow, none of that, it's going to mostly incorporate front-wheel drive, which is going to save you a little bit more in terms of fuel efficiency. However, if you turn onto a road with, you know, not the best paving situation or mud, snow, the vehicle will adapt itself as necessary to make sure you have the stability that you need when you need it. So no switching gears or anything needed. The vehicle is smart enough to figure it out on its own. Surrounding your wheel arches, we do have body color. I know some of the other trim levels of the Hyundai Kona have black plastic cladding, which can make the vehicle kind of have an armored look to it. It looks good, but if you appreciate a little bit more body color, this is an amazing option. For the N-Line badge over here, we got a fender flare. And then, not a fender flare, fender mounted emblem. Black body color mirrors with a turn signal indicator, and we do have blind spot detection as well too. Blind spot detection, of course, is going to illuminate that icon in your mirror to let you know if there's a vehicle in your left or right blind spot, but it'll also give you audible feedback inside the cabin to let you know, hey, there's a car there. Might not be the best time to change lanes. If you still decide to do so though, and the vehicle senses the risk of a collision, it is smart enough to revert you into your originating lane, avoiding a blind spot collision. All right. Door handles. Now these door handles look a little bit different than the last gen Hyundai Kona, and that's because we don't actually have a button anymore. It's an indent. So if I want to get inside my car and I don't want to dig for my keys or use my phone, all I got to do is put my hand behind the handle. It'll unlock for me as long as I'm in proximity with the key, and then press on the indent to lock it again. If you want to take things a couple techie steps further, you do have digital key to touch as well, meaning you can unlock, start, and drive your vehicle from your phone, which is great if you are letting somebody else drive your vehicle and you don't want to give them a physical key. You can always remove access as well. Up top, we have our regular flush style roof rails. Traditional black pillars, so no gloss there, and you guys, I will say, that's kind of a win. We have a Santa Fe with gloss black pillars right behind us, and depending on what your lifestyle is like, and if you like to use touch car washes, those can very much and very quickly accumulate scratches. So these are much more scratch proof, and your vehicle will look a lot nicer in the long run. All right, some nice more body colored arches on the rear. And then the tail end of the vehicle. Now, if you couldn't tell already, the big thing that's missing is the fact that 2025 models no longer have that unique spoiler that the N-Line used to offer. I'm a little bit sad about it. I know sometimes our comments, a lot of people were actually happy that it's gone, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think.
I kind of miss it.
I really miss it, especially with this paint color. I do see a 2024 one driving around every once in a while, and I think it looks awesome, but the vehicle still looks good without it. There's one thing I could change. It might be to hide the rear wiper underneath this little bit of spoiler we still have, but it's not a deal breaker. You guys can see we have a high mounted stop lamp.
Race car.
Yeah, beautifully integrated up top there. Nice clear glass pane. And then just like what we see up at the front, we have a full width rear taillight. Now the Kona emblem in the back is mounted in that nice low profile finish. So it doesn't look janky. It's not like the old Hyundai emblems, which were really big and stuck out a lot. It just looks good. It's really nice. It's a clean look. The diffuser is awesome on this car, so check it out. Definitely stands out. I hate seeing a sporty car with such a boring exhaust setup and system. So this vehicle, the fact that you see the twin tips and they're actually visible, I think they did a really good job, very well executed. All right, let's open up the trunk space. Oh, there we go. It's hydraulic, just like our hood. And check it out. So we do have this privacy screen that is totally removable if it's not something that you want. Floor is completely flat. We'll get these out of the way. Underneath the floorboard, you do have a mobility kit. You can see there is space for a spare tire if you would like to put one there. Another thing you can do with this floorboard, if it's not in its best use for you, you can pull it out and have it drop down a little bit to give you about an extra 2 inches of storage space. So this one's stuck on the rail, but you can see, get a little bit more space, just a little bit.
Also gives it a nice shelf, so if you're getting groceries, now all of a sudden you've created this shelf, they're not going to be rolling around or anything like that too, or you can put it back up to the original height and it's going to give you that almost flush like if you want to slide something in nice and easy.
All right, so let's close that up. One thing I really do like about this vehicle, didn't close this up all the way, is the fact that it's fun to drive and it handles fantastically. A lot of that is going to be due to the suspension that's in the rear of this vehicle. It's a multi-link rear suspension as opposed to what we see in the naturally aspirated models. So it will handle better. It turns on a dime. It is easy to park and it's super visible. So if you need a bigger vehicle, maybe you're driving a sedan right now or a coupe, you still want something fun, but you don't want to feel like you're in a giant SUV, this is a great option. It still has that fun to drive feel of a sedan, but with a little bit more cargo space.
If you're looking for a new vehicle and you're thinking that you want to keep something for a couple years, but you're not too sure what your lifestyle is going to look like, this is going to be a great pick because it can accommodate so many different lifestyles, whether it is, outdoorsy type hobbies that require a little bit more cargo space, whether it's like car seats and kids and all that type of stuff, or pets or anything like that. This is going to be a great fit.
You can definitely do it all. One more thing I'll point out, I mentioned the fuel efficiency. It's about 9 liters per 100 kilometers combined. It's a 50-liter tank, so I will say it's not going to hurt when you go to put gas in it. And because it's a turbo, you might be thinking, oh, I got to get premium in it. No, regular gas is fine.
Save the pump.
Regular octane, 87 grade, it is totally fine, you guys. All right, so Charlotte's gonna take over the interior and then we will answer your guys' questions at the end.
Okay, I'm just gonna give a warning. I need to adjust my mic. It's been a little floppy. So if you hear anything, I'm sorry. My bad. Okay, let's take a look on the interior, guys. So I'll have Gabby just give a quick pan that you guys can see what the cabin looks like as a first impression. Then we'll go through it area by area and talk about the tech and safety that we have on the interior of this vehicle.
You definitely see a lot of red.
I definitely am sensing some sportier accents for sure, and that's one of the things that I love about this vehicle too. You'll also notice it's quite dark, so adding more into that sporty feeling too, which I personally really, really enjoy. All right. Let's talk about the door first. Very dark, as you can see. I like that we even have these more so gunmetal painted door handles. I think they look really good, very sleek, very sporty, and lots of just black, flat black accenting too that is easy to wipe down. Our mirrors are electronically controlled. Our front 2 windows are going to be one touch with optical detection and regular automatic windows for everyone else. And then we still have a storage and bottle compartment and one of 6 in-house speakers. I will also point out on our door sills, look, nice little checkered flag. Oh, it's got plastic on it too. Do you guys want some ASMR? That wasn't really a good one, I'm sorry. And when it comes to our pedals, you'll also notice that we have some aluminum sport style pedals. I guess these 2 have stickers on them, but at least our dead pedal has it. And it's nice to see that it's included. It wasn't left out either. All right, when it comes to the seats themselves, they are manual. Now, that doesn't bother me on a sporty type vehicle because it's just a set it and forget it. And again, to me, it just feels a little bit more sporty. If you do want a power driver seat, you can go up to the N-Line Ultimate, which is going to give you that option. You still do have a height. Oh, that's my bad. I was going to say the height adjustment right here. And then as you can already see, you can, of course, adjust the amount of recline that you would like as well. Over here, you can see the first little bit of that red accenting that is going to stretch all the way across the dash, just like what we see for our headlights. So more RoboCop on the interior too. Brightness adjuster, traction control, downhill braking assist, and your electronic parking brake. I would have loved to have personally seen a handbrake in this vehicle just for something a little bit more fun, a little bit more sporty given this vehicle, but that's just my opinion, my perspective. The seats themselves, they are going to be a leather and suede combo, with the suede being the insert. Again, a little bit more sporty feel. We even have some end embossing and some red accenting it down the center, which again, just looks fantastic. It feels good too. And both the driver's seats are going to be heated. All right, do you want to come around?
Sure. Got asked what the powertrain options are. So if you want the N-Line, it only comes with the 1.6 liter turbo with the 8-speed automatic, and emphasis on the 8-speed automatic. The previous gen Kona utilized a 7-speed dual clutch. The 8-speed is definitely more daily driver friendly, especially if you're someone who drives in stop and go traffic. It's going to give you a smoother experience, and for longevity of the vehicle as well too, less to worry about. Dual clutches do require a little bit of special care, and you should know how to drive with the dual clutch because it's not just like a regular automatic. All right. Oh, and sorry, the other engine option not available on the N-Line is a 2-liter 4-cylinder with an IVT transmission.
I told you it was easily wipeable. Everything's easily wipeable.
There's still dirt.
It's a little dirty.
Yeah.
All right, Gabby, you actually have a pretty nice passenger seat. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so of course same accents as Charlotte's seat, but the big deal is this vehicle has the exact same configurations for the passenger. So backrest, height adjustment, and then of course you have the bar underneath to move yourself on the rail. So honestly, there's no better seat in the house. They're both fantastic.
They're both great. They're the same.
One just has a steering wheel.
It's great to actually see the height adjustment on a passenger seat because that's not something you see too often. So definitely an A+ for the Kona, and it's going to accommodate tall and shorter drivers. All right, directly ahead of me, steering wheel. Shocker there, really classic design, and we have the N badging down at the bottom too. You'll also notice some contrast red stitching, which looks fantastic. The center, we do have our Morse code H for Hyundai, and then we're gonna have a split between our driving and our media controls. So from here, you'll be able to enable things like that cruise control Gabby talked about, and also adjust it on the fly as you are driving. And then you have your media controls and your virtual assistant over on this side. That's one thing I love about Kia and Hyundai is everything is very easy to use at the touch of a button. However, some of these buttons sometimes serve multiple purposes. So if you want to check out our steering wheel secrets video, definitely do so. Behind our steering wheel, we do have paddle shifters, so great sporty touch again with this vehicle, and they are that nice dark chrome material as well. And then we're still going to have our lighting stock and wiper stock as well. And just beneath that, you'll notice that we have a column-mounted shift-by-wire. To access your gear shift, you're just going to twist for drive, neutral, and reverse, and then press down for park. A lot of people ask that, believe it or not. Directly ahead of me, we have one of two 12.3-inch screens. Let me press this down. And again, really love how this looks, super simplified design. And if you use this notes icon located on your steering wheel, you're able to further customize it. You can go and see your vehicle's trip computer, see how it responds to you as a driver, and we even have some more sporty touches. More sporty touches are there. Up top, you can also see when the power from the rear is kicking in because it is that smart all-wheel drive system. But again, looks fantastic. And then of course, you're also gonna have your designated drive modes as well. Keep pressing that. So sport mode as well. And then your terrain modes, snow, mud, and sand. But again, fantastic. Love this display, love this software. Huge fan of it. Over here, this is your multimedia screen or your infotainment screen, 12.3 inches. Let me take this off.
It's giving a lot of glare.
That was a good one. That was a loud one. Now with this software, you will notice phone projection. This supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So if you are finally looking to get rid of any of the wires cluttering up your center console, this is the vehicle to do it. This is the software to do it. And believe me, I absolutely love it. I'm head over heels obsessed with it, and I will not get a car that does not have this software in it anymore. It's my absolute favorite. Now, as we move along to the side, you can also pop into setup where you can do some further customization. So if you want to go into your driver's assistance, there we go, and access any of those features that Gabby mentioned on the outside, you can do so through here. From here, you also have your lights. You're able to access that ambient lighting in this vehicle. You can even link it to your drive modes for some more sporty touches. And I think I'm going to go for a blue to complement the red that we have in here. Nice. I think it looks good. Down below, you can see more of that red accenting. And then I really like how the Kona is configured. Real buttons, real dials, and they're all backlit as well, so easy to see at night. All of these buttons are going to do as they say with the inclusion of your search function. So again, if you're looking for a new car, it's the first new car that you've had in a while, you're looking for something to keep for a long time, the search function is going to help you with that learning curve. You can search for contacts, media, you can even search for features. So if you didn't know where to find your ambient lighting, you can actually search for your ambient lighting, and it's going to bring you up anything that has that in the title. See? Right up there. Climate control is located down below. Again, very straightforward and easy to control. You even have dual zone climate control. So again, best seats in the house, definitely up in the front because it's going to be comfortable. You're going to be able to configure it exactly how you want. And then you're still going to have things like your front and rear defrost, sync your climate control, air conditioning, recirculated air, all of that good stuff located there. Rear occupant alert right here. So when these are illuminated, it will allow you to know which of the rear seats, of the three of them, are going to be in use and which seat belts are clicked into place. You also have options for USB-Cs, your wireless phone charger, so the Wombo Combo wireless phone charger with wireless Apple CarPlay. And you even have a 12-volt. Down below, more convenience features, your heated seats, heated steering wheel with 2 levels of heat, your drive and terrain mode selector, which I already showed you guys, auto hold, your parking camera as well. So this will automatically come up as the vehicle is put into reverse, and it has dynamic guidelines that will shift as the vehicle is turning to show you where it's going to end up. You also have a top-down viewpoint as well, and a wide angle. So one thing I like is that this takes up the whole screen. It's not just some really, really small camera. So very nice to see. In the center, tons of usable space here for drinks or anything that's a little bit bigger. And you have guillotine-style cup holders to accommodate, of course, smaller drinks or bigger drinks. For the center console, it's not really much of a center console. This is really the only hidden space that you have, so very small amount. Still enough to fit a wallet, and then you do have a little bit of space under here, but it would still be visible from outside. Do you want to give a glove box review? An upstairs glove box review? Or shelf, I guess?
Space over here, illuminated, ambient light. Someone did ask earlier if the ambient light can be set to pink, and you certainly can. You actually have a color wheel that you can choose whatever you want. We got our plate bracket over here, manuals, and just a regular size glove box.
I'll show the key and then we'll talk about up top. Key, egg key, very fun. You have your lock, unlock, remote start, which you can do from your key fob, then also your panic button. Now this vehicle, it also is equipped with Hyundai's BlueLink, which is Hyundai's telematics system, so you are able to go and start, lock the vehicle from your phone. You can also utilize things like location services, which again is very handy, especially for the weather that we are having outside. Your mirror, It's right here. It is a manual one that you can manually adjust to dim if it's bright out. And then also you'll notice your Kia Connect controls up top, your sunroof as well, and that nice dark headliner. So that's going to retract the shade for us, and then also open it up. Nice wide style type sunroof as well. LED interior lighting, nice to see too. So it really brightens up the cabin, especially having this open too. And I think it's time that we head to the back seat.
All right, you guys know I always have to say it, solid door handle.
All right, this is a really good example of a back seat done well. You know why? Because it really mimics what we see in the front. When it comes to our seats, they weren't forgotten about. They still have that suede insert. It looks really good. It's comfortable too. So there's still that leatherette combo. And then as you drop down the middle, you have an adjustable armrest with cup holders too. The seats are also going to have sets of lower latch anchors, so you can accommodate car seats back here. I have a decent amount of headroom too. That's the benefit of crossovers. So obviously you're going to get more than you would in a sedan. So a nice amount of space for sure. And I'll show you guys what it looks like with me sitting here for legroom. Gabby likes to make fun of me because I sit in the steering wheel when I'm driving, and that's currently adjusted for me driving. So, but decent amount of legroom for sure. I drove a Kona that was a smaller body style when I was in college. I had multiple friends who were over 6 feet tall, and I put them back here. And you know what? They were fine. For some amenities back here, I do have a cargo pocket, so a net here, dual USB-Cs in the center, and also we have dual vents, which have a little bit of a red piping on the tip, which again, looks really good. Really like the look of that. Yeah, fantastic vehicle for sure.
DTUK asked why the red trim isn't continued into the back of the interior. It is.
I think it is.
So you'll see it on the vents, and then you also see it on the seats. It's a little bit hard to see.
So you can see that there. And then it's really just here. We don't have the red stitching down the center.
Yeah, so no seat piping, but the seat stitching.
But we still have the suede insert. And suede is the best of both worlds because it doesn't get as hot as leather in the sun, but it warms up faster than leather with your heated seats. So it's the best of both worlds.
All right, another look at the exterior. So again, what makes the N-Line the N-Line? Obviously the powertrain, the sporty interior, but also the sporty exterior. There's a lot more going on the front end of this vehicle and the rear end than the 2-liter alternate. I think it looks fantastic. Such a well-executed redesign. Really, really beautiful car. And it's not boring, which a lot of crossovers are. All right. Any questions you see, Shar?
I'm just going through right now.
I mentioned a couple functions in terms of safety, but something that's a little bit more concrete, obviously, airbags. This vehicle has 6 airbags, advanced airbags too. There's also lane keep and lane follow assist systems and forward collision avoidance systems. So the forward collision avoidance works on pedestrians, cyclists, and also while making turns in junctions, so think busy intersections. The vehicle is constantly keeping an eye out, making sure you're at a safe distance, and will warn you if you're not. Also, anything unexpected, like if someone cuts you off, hits the brake, slows down for whatever reason, the car always warns you, but it will brake for you as well, just to avoid any sort of collision. Another thing, Charlotte, to your point about the e-brake, so there's a reason why there's no handbrake in this vehicle, and it's because it has the auto hold braking function. Vehicles with manual handbrakes or e-brakes will not have auto hold. And auto hold is actually a function that is a non-negotiable for a lot of people. I personally love it because every time you park on a hill, it automatically deploys your e-brake anyway, which a lot of people forget to do themselves. But also if you are someone who's sitting in a lot of stop conditions, it just allows you to take your foot off the brake and have your vehicle stay at a halt. So it's a pretty nice function to have. All right. Any questions?
I'm just taking a look, sorry. Because I think a lot of them we've answered. The engine options you have for sure.
Will the Kona get a hybrid? So there's been a lot of talk about it, but I will say nothing official from our Hyundai dealer, so I don't know. Simon said something about bulging rear quarter panels and the taillights just feel so, I'm not going to say that word, but I feel like it looks a little bit funkier on camera. In person, all the body lines just flow really well.
I think it looks more dramatic on camera.
Yeah, if I will say on the trims with the black cladding, I think it stands out a bit more, but with this paint match or body colored fender flares and wheel arches, it looks a lot better. Like it looks sleek, it looks sporty, it has a bit of a wide stance to it, but in a really good way. The taillights are definitely different than what we've seen in the past, so it's something that I feel like some people have to get used to, or takes a little bit of time, but I personally love it. They're so bright at nighttime, it looks amazing, and it's just different, it's fun.
I see a question, what are the orange stickers on the alloys and tires? It's just stickers from when the vehicle arrived. It arrived not too long ago. It hasn't been through the full PDI process at our Hyundai store, which is why they're still on. But they'll come off, don't worry. They don't mean anything really. Is Kia providing any discount on Sportage or Sorento PHEV for the ISA rebate? They are currently only offering incentives on the 2024 EV6.
For Kia, yeah.
For Kia, yes.
And Hyundai has some great incentives on the Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6 product. I believe also the Kona EV, right, Char?
Yep, Kona EV is included in that.
Ryan just answered the price. So yeah, MSRP is $35,949 Canadian. That is just the MSRP. So depending on what province you live in, or if you're in the States, what state you're in, keep in mind if you're from the States, your Kona will probably be equipped quite differently. We have very different trims here in Canada.
Probably have a different name.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I really love about the Kona is just the fact that there's so many different options for it. There's 3 different options where you can get this fun turbocharged powertrain, one of them of which is new for this year, the Sport Package. So there really is a great combination where you can find what you want, where if you want something a little bit more base inside for price reasons, but still want the sportier powertrain, you can do that. If you want the sportier powertrain, you want all the bells and whistles, you can do that too. And this one is the perfect middle ground right in between those, but tons of great options. Also comes electric, so there really is an option for everyone.
All right, so we are at 26 minutes, so we should probably end off today's live stream. If you guys liked this video, be sure to leave a like. It definitely helps out the channel, and it's free.
It's free, and in this economy, you got to take advantage of anything that's free.
And of course, I would say typically we'll be live tomorrow at 2 p.m., but we're not. So we will have a video being posted at 2 p.m. Be sure to check that out. Other than that, take care, have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.
Smooches.